Are young people learning Indigenous languages? Imagine a world where the words of elders are passed down like precious heirlooms. Now, picture how many of those words are fading away each year. That's the reality for many Indigenous languages in polar regions. In the Arctic and Canadian Arctic, fewer young people speak their native languages than in the past. Many Indigenous languages are now endangered, with some only spoken by a handful of elders. In Canada, around 75% of Indigenous languages are at risk of disappearing completely. Over the last decade, the number of Indigenous people who speak their native language has dropped from about 21% to just over 15%. Among Inuit communities, language retention is higher, with about 64% of Inuit people still speaking their language. But for other groups like the Métis, only about 2% can converse fluently in their native tongue. This shows how uneven language preservation is across different communities. In the Arctic, more than 40 Indigenous languages have been spoken for hundreds of years. Sadly, since the 1800s, 21 of these languages have become extinct. Since 1990, 10 more have disappeared, showing how fast languages are vanishing. Today, 28 Arctic languages are critically endangered, meaning they need urgent help to survive. Despite these challenges, many communities are working hard to bring their languages back. Young people are learning through community-led programs, language immersion schools, and digital tools like apps and online courses. These efforts are helping to keep the languages alive, but the number of young fluent speakers is still low compared to older generations. In some places, schools are starting to include Indigenous languages in their curriculum. This helps young people connect with their culture and history. However, using these languages in government and higher education remains limited, which makes it harder for them to thrive. Overall, some young people are learning their Indigenous languages, but the trend is toward fewer speakers. The fight to keep these languages alive is ongoing, and it takes continued effort and support from communities and governments alike. Without that, many of these languages risk being lost forever, taking with them centuries of knowledge and cultural identity.